Hi there! Hi YouTube! So today I'm going to take a look at the blindbox MJD from Tissot. This is from the Sugary Girls series, made by OneMore. So first off, she is a blindbox, and I'm not really concerned about which one I'm getting, because I'm going to use her for custom. And because I'm using her for custom, I aim to get the extra set parts for Tissot. So the box of the doll has a pastel pink to teal and lots of hearts, diamonds, and clubs, emoji. Then we have the title Sugary Girls, and we have, what's her name? Alice on the front. On the left side we have the manufacturer name, OneMore, in the pink teal gradient. On the other side, the gradient with the illustrations of all the possible characters, as well as a silhouette of the secret. Bottom, I'm not sure what that is, and the series name Sugary Girls. Top, the company name with the pull tab. The back, continuing the gradient, and all the information in Chinese and English. Brand, the name, material, manufacturer, etc. And since I don't like to destroy boxes, I'm going to carefully open from the bottom. Would you look at that? I got one I actually like, and it's the pink one. So we've got Lisette. Here is a character card. It is a pretty thin cardboard with the illustration on one side and a pink and blue checkered pattern on the back. Here she is in a blister. She comes with some extra joints, which is a very nice inclusion. And she has an outfit. Here she is in her blister. So first things first, we have a pair of magnetic wings in a cutesy style. I didn't know they come with that. We have her shoes, some flat Mary Janes or loafers, something between the two. It's mainly white with a pinkish brown sole and some pink butterflies. So her first extra pair of hands are these holding hands. They are pretty nicely sculpted and quite big. Next set of extra hands are pointing hands. And the third set of extra hands are these 3-finger Victoria hands, as I like to call it. And nice that all the fingers are separate, even the two that are curled up. So the doll herself, she has a piece of plastic over her face to protect the paint. Her pigtails do move a bit, but not intentionally. I don't think so anyway. The plastic is somewhat soft. Her hair is a plain pink color, but the painting details on her hair is pretty nice. From the flowers to the ribbons and all of these accessories in her hair. One thing though, that is the front hairpiece is coming off a bit easily. She has inset eyes, no mechanism for moving though. She has light yellow eyebrows, a very happy smile, and a pretty cute face. So, she is pretty hefty. Now, her head can move forward a bit and back a bit, not much range. Side to side, also not much. Chest, all the way forward and all the way back, quite a nice range, and the joint is pretty sturdy. The arm all the way up like this and all the way against the body, and 360-degree rotation. She has double jointed elbows, not very nice wing bend, and ball pegs in her wrists. So all the way back, all the way forward, and 360-degree rotation at the wrist and the hand. So her thighs, well, hips, can bend at 90 degrees. She does not have a pulling out mechanism, but she does have a thigh swivel. The plastic used for her joint is a bit more pink. She has a double jointed knee, don't go that far. Not much rotation at the knee though. Ankles on the ball peg, that much back, quite a bit forward, and 360-degree rotation. So, pretty nice posing, although the head is very limited. And as you can see, her hands get stuck in her hair. For sculpting of her body, it's pretty nice. And there goes the front hairpiece. It's worth noting that the hair is a very nice matte color, a matte paint. And the way her head sits, or how her neck sits, make it seem like the connector piece needs to go into the head a bit more, but it doesn't seem like it can. And so yeah, the face piece and the front hair piece are a bit loose. And pop right back out. So next up is her outfit. I'm keeping her character card closer so I have a better idea of what's going on. Okay, so first off, we have a cute pair of bloomers, white with elastic in the waist and the legs, and some pretty lace on the legs. Next we have her dress. Okay, that's the back, that's the front. It's a very cutesy style. With I recognize this fabric, but I don't remember what it's called. It has some printed details. Come on. It has a slight shimmer to it and some nice printed details. On the right side we have a little thingy with, I think it might be like a pocket or a purse, something, with some beads and a butterfly. On her waist we have a little ruffle with a pink striped bow. The bodice is pretty much a sweetheart bodice with poofy sleeves and plastic bows. We do have lace on the sleeve cuffs and lace on the bottom of the dress. We do have some nice pink stitching detail and lace, and also this crisscross ribbon in front. The back opens and closes with velcro, and we have a pink and white striped ribbon tied into a bow. So we have a garter with a heart-shaped buckle and elastic at the back. We have her socks. Both are the same. I'll be showing one. It is tights fabric, the fishnet-ish type. We have a nice lace pattern and a ribbon that ties around the legs. And then we have two pink ribbons that go around her wrists, tied into bows. And that's what she comes with. So let's... time to get her dressed. And here she is fully dressed. Okay, so a few things to note. That the fabric edges are not all finished off properly, so there is a slight risk of fraying. I did not mention that the hands are on pegs, and as you can see on these extra joints, these are the same as the feet, and they have sections, and that's why they are harder to remove, while the hands are pretty easy. Take off and put back on. There is also a ruffle at the shoulders on the sleeves. Okay, so she is very cute. And I'm glad I have the extras so that I don't have to customize her when I do my custom. So I can switch between the two whenever I want. Okay, so I'll play around with her and let you know my final thoughts. So, time to finish up looking at the extras, my final thoughts and some comparisons. So first off, I did find that she had some loose stains on the back of her hair. I did use a magic eraser to wipe them off. And that was the only place they were, so it's very likely that it was like that from the start. Not likely, definitely, because she didn't touch anything blue. Second, the quality of the clothes isn't the best. If I zoom in here, right there, you can see that the socks are torn, and that was like that from the start. And also the fit around the bodice is pretty bad. It's a bit lopsided, and even without the lace, the ribbons are completely different lengths. So, she is very cute, and although I have some complaints about the quality of the clothes, they do their job and they look cute. There are some questionable choices here and there, like with the printing on the skirt part. It's not very clear and it looks like it's going to fade. The ribbons on her wrist feels like they want to fall apart. But other than that and her hair falling off, she does stand very stably without any effort, and she is quite a nice quality. Also, something I didn't mention is that she has so-called follow me eyes. It seems like she's looking at you no matter which way her head turns. The magnets are pretty strong as well. She toppled over quite a few times, but not once did they come off. Although the ribbons on her legs did come loose, but that's a me problem. So, she's a very cute figure, pretty nice quality. Some things could be better, but hopefully that will be in the future, improved in the future. I think this is the first line from this company. Now I'm going to check some comparisons and then take a look at her extras. So here she is with two other dolls that are listed as 1/8 scale. As you can see, she is a bit bigger than both. But in my review of my Tess and Sicily boys, I did say they are more than like a 1/9 scale and 1/8. And the Momotail bodies scale should be about between the two. Between 1/8 and 1/9. So I'd say that the Sugary Girls are a proper 1/8 scale. Interesting to note that they have the exact same hip measurements. So mainly bringing out butterfly exclusion zone, because as I mentioned, I'm planning on using Lisette for a custom doll, and Momotail bodies were also what I considered using for the custom doll. They are quite similar proportionally. While the Sugary Girls at the same time, while being bigger, they seem a bit less mature in a way. The hands aren't going to be compatible because Momotail hands are on a ball joint and the Sugary Girls are just on a peg. That's just for the size comparison. Also off screen I did a comparison with her and my 1/8 scale Black Gold Saw scale figure, and the size is pretty consistent, well, except for the big head. Okay. Now to take a look at the extras again, properly. So first we have an acrylic stand. The acrylic stands do have a sheet of film on them to protect the paint. So the picture does look a bit blurry like this. Knowing that I have cats that like to throw things off tables, I'm going to keep the film on. And this acrylic stand was randomly included and I got Game Over Girl. So, next up is the extra face with the eye holes. So the eye chips that they come with has a notch on top that fits in there, and there is two on the sides. There is a lip in which they fit. So you have to get the eye chips beneath that lip. So I know there are two different types of open eye faces. This one with the round eyes, and then there's one with a bit more angular looking eyes. Next up is the blank head, blank face and head. It's the head pieces separate into 3 pieces. And we do have an extra neck piece. So there is the option of removing the hair and face to put it on. Like so. But because we have the neck piece, we also have the option of just shooting it out like this by pulling the head off. It does take a bit of force to get the head on. It's worth noting that between this face and Lisette's face there was a bit of a gap with the back head piece. And I went and pulled out her arm while putting on the head. So the elbows are just on pegs. The next accessory is a decal, and it looks to be Sugary's face, I think. Yeah, Sugary, who is cow themed. I see the brows are pink, that matches Sugary's pink hair. Well, Lisette has blonde eyebrows for some reason. Next we have some shoes. They are pink loafers with a black heel and a heart on the front. They're pretty much the same as the heels she comes with, the shoes she comes with, same fit. Slightly loose without the socks. Then we have a tiny handbag, the same color as the plastic. And it's literally a handbag, maybe with another hand option. You can go further up the wrist like this. And I think it will be fun to try and paint it. It's a heart with wings and a little corset ribbon. Next, the high heel feet and high heeled shoes. So, the incline of the foot isn't that great, so you can use these shoes with the normal feet. And the shoes are, however, a bit big for both, because it leaves quite a big gap at the back of the foot, or less so with the normal foot than the actual high heel. So, because the ankle joints look like this, it is going to be a bit of an effort to switch out the feet, but let's give it a try. And I'm back. And with a lot of huffing and puffing and almost breaking the joints, I realized my high heeled feet is 2 left feet. So I might have to get a replacement for one of them, but I don't think that I'll be using them because it's really difficult to take them off and put them on. Like I said, a lot of huffing and puffing involved. Next we have the extra hands, and we have a lovely tail stub. So first set is this rubber hands, kind of making claws. Next are these okay hands. And lastly, you have a pair of heart hands. There. Let's just check how easy it is to get the new hands on. Not too much of a problem. I definitely prefer the pegs. Then the straight up ball joints, ball pegs for the other hands. Okay. So that is all the extras. And honestly, for the extras, unless you're planning to customize the doll, I don't think they're that much of a need. Although I'm sure some people would enjoy collecting the acrylic stands. But the shoes are pretty plain. Here's a close-up of the high heels. I didn't keep that. So the extra shoes aren't much more than the originals they come with, unless you have a specific need for that type of shoe. And the accessories are a bit plain, so and then the extra hands depends on your preference naturally. So the extras aren't a must-have, but they are nice to have, especially when you want to customize the doll. So overall, I give the Sugary Girls Lisette doll a good review. I quite like her, and although I won't buy another one, it is tempting. They do provide some customization options of the extras, which is nice, and some unique options of the doll itself. Thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll stay tuned for a bit more pictures. Bye.